In the 8 kingdoms of Minecraftia, the dominant religion is that of the first faith of man, or as it is commonly known, as the faith of the Army of the Seven. Legend tells these gods are man's first gods, born when man and elf evolved and extinguished itself from its ancestor the Humanos, a race before mankind walked the earth. When men made its crossing to what is now known as the 8 kingdoms, at the start of recorded history some 10,000 years ago, the faith of course travelled with them, and was soon the most prayed to by all who believed in such things. The Army of the Seven exists out of 7 gods, who rule the world of men from their golden castle on top of the sun. Amongst them there is the leader, god of gods and heroes, god of thunder, lightning, wisdom, foresight, tactics and battle strategy, keeper of law, order and justice. The healer, goddess of water, rivers, rain, purity, innocence, mercy, peace, fertility and childbirth. The warrior, god of fire, strength, war, bloodshed and violence. The seductress, goddess of music, beauty, lust, self-indulgence, art, poetry and archery. The destroyer, god of storm, natural disasters and earthquakes. The genius, goddess of life, earth, agriculture, harvest, growth, nourishment, creation, craftsmanship and knowledge. And then of course there is the judge, god of death, ruler of all that is dead. He judges the souls of the dead. According to their Bibles, since the dawn of time, the gods were born from the sun itself, until the sun exhausted its limited power to create universal life forces. Before long, many gods lived in peace in the castle of golden light, until the army of obsidians came bearing war upon them, coming to destroy the light. 3,000 years the gods waged a colossal war on the obsidians, which is now known as the Battle for the Universe, until the last 7 gods and the last 6 obsidian rulers remained. These rulers were called hate, betrayal, envy, greed, murder and gluttony. Outnumbered and outmatched, the obsidians turned to their ultimate defense, interlocking their shields of bedrock, creating an impenetrable cube, cowering, trying to escape to recreate their army and destroy the remaining gods for good. No matter how hard the gods bashed their shields, they could not break their phalanx, and with every attack, the obsidians pushed themselves further and further away. Seeing brute force failed, the leader turned to tactics and ordered the gods to push and hold all 6 shields of the obsidians together. He had the genius plant the first seed of the first tree of life on top of the obsidian phalanx, having its roots spread, locking their bedrock shields together, creating an eternal prison of their own making. On this cube the gods placed the earth, to secure their victory over the obsidians, and on this earth they placed the oceans, and so the world was created. Every 500 years the tree would die, only to regrow wherever the roots that held the shields together weakened. From its own branches, the tree created an equal to itself, to protect all life it created, giving it half its power. This guardian was called a dragon, and equal to the tree, he would die every 500 years, and from it a new egg would be born, and with each generation they would both lose power. By the bloodline of the tree, life would spread across the world, protected by the bloodline of the dragon. But the world, filled with hate, betrayal, envy, greed, murder and gluttony, the dragon's heart weakened and corrupted, until the dragon turned on the tree, killing all its life wherever it could find it. However, the dragon could not end the tree its life itself, but they were linked by the same soul. The gods watched over this brutal world from their kingdom on the sun, much to their amusement, for the struggle reminded them of their victory over their ancient foes. But the gods were merciful, and wanted to give life a chance to defend itself once more, so they chose the ancient ancestor of man as its champion, and they were called the Androgynous, a race created with 4 arms, 4 legs, and a head with 2 faces. As a defense against the corruption of the world, the gods gave them intelligence and split the Androgynous into 2 separate parts linked by 1 soul, so they would spend their lives in search of each other's halves, so they would try and find and protect love instead of killing one another. And so the religion was born. Millions of years passed, but their victory finally came some 7,600 years ago, in the time of man, where the tree's powers have diminished up to a point where it can only produce a magical powder called mana. The dragon was finally defeated and banned to the end by the elven hero Reverie Terribly the Great, king of heroes and ancestor to House Tylerian, and life could evolve on its own terms for the first time since the birth of the world.